Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Damien, and just like my previous one where I have not made a guide for Lotus, I have not made a guide for Damien. So I guess during my liberation I can just briefly go over what to look for in Damien, and of course I forgot to use my guild skills. So yeah, I mean not like I need them, but it just helps to make the whole process faster. But basically, on entrance, bind and burst, and you should be good. Make sure you bind him before you start popping your burst, because if you don't bind him and you pop your burst and he goes up in the air, then you waste that time that he's in the air and you're not hitting him. So just make sure you're binding him before you start bursting. Very important. Now, Damien is a very easy boss, to be honest. The only thing you really have to watch out for are the marks, and he is kind of laggy and glitches out a bit, so most of the times you're not able to hit him. So you want to be mindful of that, and you do need quite a bit of damage to take down his HP. Now, the sword is basically for the whole party, so you can see the same sword that your party members are seeing. And what you want to do is basically move around and try not to get hit by that consistently. And it becomes annoying because in phase 1, when you're trying to cleanse, that sword will follow you around sometimes and you can't cleanse. It's really stupid in my opinion, but it is what it is. So you just want to be, mindful of that and don't cleanse at the last second. Usually I try to have maybe 3 or 4 at most before I start cleansing, because there could be a few rounds where the altar is just in inopportune places and you're not able to actually cleanse, and that can become troublesome because you do lose quite a bit of lives there. The fire pit I think is 90% damage. It doesn't one-shot you. Same thing with the fireballs that he does. It's basically I think 90% or 95%, something like that. And yeah, just don't get near them and you should be fine. Quite easy to dodge. I think Dark Sight works for the fireballs. I'm not exactly sure on that. And also for the rush, you don't want to be in the area that he rushed in for a good 2 to 3 seconds, otherwise you get marked. Same thing for his dives, because it's just how Damien behaves right now. I think they'll change that down the line. But right now, if he rushed somewhere or dives somewhere, the markings will still happen within a certain period of time. So just be mindful of that. And now we're on to phase 2. Phase 2 I think is a lot easier, but there's a lot more damage you have to do, because he spawns these blue orbs, and those blue orbs you don't want to be inside of them because you cannot heal to the full potency of your potion if you're inside it. Like those little orbs right there, and they do get bigger and more of them do spawn as his HP gets lower. And I think for phase 2 it's a lot easier to cleanse in my opinion, but yeah, definitely you need to avoid those blue orbs and just try to get away from it. And now he does this little fire thing where he spins out fireballs on both sides, and the safe spot is just either a really far end when you're out of his range, or you are right on top of him. If you're right on top of him, it doesn't hit you either. And then here, I think I cut it pretty close. Did I even cleanse? I don't think I was able to cleanse on this. Yeah, so I do get hit and die here. So once you get 7 marks, you automatically die. And for phase 2, what you want to be mindful of, his dives that he just did, those are 1-hit KOs. So you don't want to be where he's diving. Ideally, you want to just stand right under him. When he goes up, and you want to stand right under it, because if you're right under it, he usually doesn't dive right on top of you. But if you're on left or right side of him, he sometimes glitches out and dives the opposite way that he's looking, so that can be a pain in the butt. And also he does this little rush attack, and it marks you, but it doesn't one-shot you. And you can just duck on those, like what I'm doing here. Just duck and you'll be good. There's still a sword that follows you around, but it happens a lot less often. Oh, and I also forgot to mention these blue orbs. So these blue orbs that you see, and they strike down after a few seconds, they're similar to petrification orbs, but not 100%. So if you get hit when you're right below it, make sure you don't panic and just start pressing random buttons. Make sure you enter the keys in the order it shows up in, and you make sure you enter it correctly, otherwise it leaves you stunned and you can die pretty easily to that. I think it stuns you for like a good 5 to 10 seconds, which is kind of crazy. And again here, you bind before you finish popping your burst, otherwise you're kind of screwed. And again, try to avoid the blue ball, otherwise you won't do full damage. And I actually killed him too fast, so I wasn't even able to put on drop gear, which kind of sucked, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Make sure you guys subscribe if you guys want to see more videos like this, and leave a like if you like this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.